Today on FSI, we are breaking down the Baltimore Ravens and the Indianapolis Colts from a betting perspective. Now, we are currently 15-3 and we are murdering the sports book, and that's through our official moves on Twitter. Now, I go over all the film and he does all the analytics to give you the best information to make an educated decision on the game. I'm your host, Tom Cross, and to my right is our analyst expert, Stephen Boo.
Thanks for tuning in this week. The Ravens are on the road as a 2.5-point favorite. They're minus 145 on the money line, and the Colts, they're plus 115.
Now, the odds makers, they're very bright. They actually have the Colts as the underdog in this matchup, and I thought it might be money line or the Colts might be a favorite. Now, they are coming off their bye week, and they beat the Lions by 20. The Ravens, on the other hand, they lost straight up against the Steelers after being a 5 to a 4.5-point favorite. So I'm a little shocked by the spread here, but I do think that the public will be on the Ravens and the sharps, they'll be on the Colts.
So this week we have 23-year-old Lamar Jackson up against Phillip Rivers, who's 2 years away from being 40. Rivers is old enough to be his dad, but he's still playing very well with the Colts right now. They had a 20-point win last week, which helped them improve to a 5-2 record. And with the Ravens, they did not get past their division rival, even playing fresh off their bye week. The book is given too much respect for that Baltimore team.
Quarterback Lamar Jackson faced the number one defense on Sunday, and he failed. He had 3 turnovers in the game. 2 interceptions were on him. They were just bad passes that you really can't make mistakes in those big games like that. Now, the turnover on the fumble really wasn't his fault because he has a horrible offensive line. Now, against the Colts, they're also a top-rated defense, so it's going to be very interesting to see how Lamar plays in this game.
Phillip Rivers has been performing extremely well over the last 2 weeks. He has 3 touchdowns and over 100 QBR in each of those games. And he's also moving the ball extremely efficiently, averaging 8 yards per pass. And that actually ranks him at 4th best in the league right now. I didn't expect much out of him at this age, so he's definitely exceeded my expectations.
Bad news for that Baltimore offensive line. They lost their best player, Staley, at left tackle that they just gave $99 million to. Now, this group has been bad all year long, so it might not even be that big a loss because I don't know how much worse they can get. Lamar was the MVP with a good offensive line. Now he's just an above-average quarterback. Now, on the other side of the ball, with the Colts, they got a tough defensive front. They were able to dominate Matt Stafford and force him into an interception that ended up being 6 points. So I actually like the Colts defensive line in this matchup. I expect them to be able to get to Lamar Jackson.
The Colts have the best pass protection this year, allowing just 8 sacks, which is the best among all teams. And even though the Ravens have a good pass rush, I don't think they can match up with the Colts here.
The wide receiver core of the Baltimore Ravens is one of the worst in the league. Now, Hollywood Brown, he did have a couple great catches against the Steelers and even caught a touchdown. But overall, the Ravens, they really let Lamar Jackson down by not improving this wide receiver core at all. They could have got Michael Gallup at the trade deadline or maybe even Will Fuller. But they did nothing, and that's a disservice to a quarterback like Lamar Jackson. Now, they are facing a strong Colts secondary that's one of the best in the league. I don't think anybody's really going to be getting open against these guys, so advantage to the Colts here.
The Colts receiving core is actually very balanced this year. They have 5 receivers with over 200 receiving yards. But the main target for the Rivers is the 9-year veteran, T.Y. Hilton. He's currently leading the team with 200 receiving yards, but doesn't have a single touchdown this year. The Colts are up against a very good pass defense, so I have to side with the Ravens here.
The run game is the best weapon the Baltimore Ravens have, and they are almost unstoppable at it. Now, with Lamar Jackson, Ingram, Dobbs in the backfield, it's very hard to stop these guys, so I feel like this is a strong advantage for the Ravens. Now, the Colts, they have a tough defensive front, but against an elite running attack that's one of the best in the league, I got to give an advantage to the Ravens here.
The Colts have the worst rush offense in the league. They're averaging just 3.5 yards per carry, and their main running back, Marlon Mack, has been out the entire season. They're relying on Jonathan Taylor as their main rusher, and he's just not doing the job for them right now. I'm giving the edge here to Baltimore's run defense.
I love the Ravens in this matchup, and the reason why is that Phillip Rivers is going to struggle against this elite secondary. The Baltimore Ravens have one of the best secondaries in the league, and no one's getting open on the Colts. They can't run the ball either, so that's a bad predicament to be in. Now, the Ravens, they can run the ball, so they can control the clock. And being at minus 2.5 here, I actually like that. I would actually take the Ravens in this matchup. They should be able to run the ball, control the clock, and play better defense than the Colts.
Even though Phillip Rivers is on fire right now, I still have to go with the Ravens here. That Colts defense isn't that good overall, and I don't think they have enough scoring on offense to keep up with Baltimore. I'm taking the Ravens minus 2.5 here.
Now, remember, we can't predict injuries or the weather, so follow our official moves on Twitter. We're 15-3 there, and it's always free and easy to access. Now, do me a favor and smash that like button and subscribe. Tell us you're going to be taken in the comments below.
We don't care about favorite teams here. Our focus is on making you money. Follow social media on Twitter, Instagram, or our webpage. The links are below.